We work with our member agencies to grow the number of high-quality charter schools across the nation by setting professional standards for authorizing and providing technical assistance directly to authorizers. Over the past 15 years, the federal government has spent $2 billion to support the creation of new charter schools. This has been a good and appropriate investment, creating better educational opportunities for hundreds of thousands of children. Yet during that same time, the federal government has invested almost nothing, less than $2 million, or 0.1%, to ensure that those schools are held to high standards and properly monitored by a competent authorizing agency. It is as if the federal government had spent billions for new highway construction, but almost nothing to put up guardrails along the sides of those highways. Yes, new highways will allow drivers to get where they are going faster, but the lack of guardrails will sometimes lead to horrible accidents. Authorizers, if you will, are the guardrails of the charter school sector. They are the institutions that oversee public charter schools on behalf of the public. While some think of authorizing as a one-time action to approve a new school, in reality, authorizers have three core responsibilities that continue throughout the life of the schools they oversee. First, authorizers have a responsibility to maintain high standards and to hold schools accountable for achieving those standards. Organizations that would like to start a new charter school should be required to demonstrate a high capacity to succeed and to educate students to achieve high standards. Second, authorizers have a responsibility to protect student and public interests. This means that authorizers must ensure that all students are treated fairly. Admissions processes must be conducted fairly. Students with disabilities must receive appropriate services. And to protect the public, authorizers must put in place monitoring systems, particularly to ensure that public funds are used appropriately. Third, authorizers have a responsibility to preserve the autonomy of the schools they oversee. Autonomy is critical to charter school success. Freedom from vast mandates and regulations allows charter schools to be innovative and to excel. On a day-to-day basis, authorizers must preserve that autonomy and refrain from re-regulating the schools they oversee. High standards, student and public interests, and autonomy. So how well are authorizers meeting those responsibilities on behalf of the public? The record is mixed. Some are doing a good job, but others are not doing well at all. Indeed, many charter school problems you may hear about are closely related to poor authorizing. Low-performing charter schools are sometimes allowed to stay open because their authorizers don't have the data or don't have the will to close them. Students may not be treated fairly because basic monitoring is not occurring, or a school may go bankrupt while its authorizer did not require an annual audit. In some cities and states, these problems are rare because authorizers have developed professional systems to fulfill their responsibilities. But in other places, professional authorizing practices are seriously lacking. It is easy to forget about highway guardrails until the moment you lose control of your car. The same is true for charter authorizing. Without strong authorizer practices in place, a school drifting off course quickly becomes a disaster for its students, parents, and the public. So, what can you do? First, as you consider legislation like the All-Star Act or the reauthorization of ESEA, be certain to include provisions that require authorizers to meet minimum professional standards. Also, as you vote to authorize funds for more charter schools in the future, ensure that some of those funds go to support improved authorizing. And finally, as you talk with officials at the Department of Education, let them know that you believe authorizing is an important component of a quality charter school sector, not only in the future, but also right now. My organization and our members see the positive power of charter schools every day. From coast to coast, we work with hundreds of excellent schools that are making a real difference in children's lives. But we also know that harm can be done if charter schools are not properly monitored. Authorizers have a responsibility to maintain high standards, protect student and public interests, and preserve school autonomy. And with your support, more authorizers can successfully fulfill those responsibilities now and in the future. Thank you.